All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. And today we're going to be working on my CT. And if you guys can see here, I just got the windshield replaced by Safelite. So we are good to go now and start working on the rest of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and replace everything now. So I just got the hood in the other day and everything was good. I have everything to replace it now. So the only thing I said I'm worried about is this right here. So this bend right here, I just noticed I got some damage here. I don't know if it's from the window guy, but it's okay. That's not even that bad. We'll go ahead and just fix that. And then the roof up there, so I really need to fix the roof first, but we're gonna go ahead and replace everything before we start doing like the dents and everything. So let me go ahead and replace the hood and take off the bumper and all the headlights and stuff. So I'll show you guys once I take those off. Okay, so first thing I think I'm gonna do is remove the front bumper, and then we'll do the hood afterwards. Or maybe I should clean, because I have glass everywhere. So I think I'm actually going to vacuum everything first, vacuum the engine bay, vacuum the interior, and then I'll take off this front bumper, the headlights, and we'll just start from there. But yeah, I think I need to vacuum everything here first. I might leave this because I'm still trying to fix the roof. So I'm gonna leave it off, but I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum and just clean everything, just so that I know that's a lot cleaner than it was. There's just glass everywhere, guys. So let me go ahead and vacuum the whole car and the engine bay. I might have to close my eyes, wear some safety goggles, turn on the vents so that the glass will actually blow out too, because I'm pretty sure it's all over the vents now and it's gonna hit all of that. So I'm gonna do that first. Let's get this whole car cleaned up, and then we'll go ahead and start on the front bumper. Okay guys, so I vacuumed the whole car and it's a lot cleaner now, but there's still glass everywhere, as you guys can see, and that is because it's all over the vents. And I had to turn on the AC to let all of the glass blew out. Thankfully, I kind of put a towel over the dash here and it kind of just flew in, but you can still see there's still a lot of little glass here. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's still little glass pieces everywhere, and I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to get all of that out. I think eventually it'll just kind of come out, but gonna have to run the car like this for a bit, maybe wear some safety glasses as I drive so that all of the glass can flow out, and just kind of clean up everything, all of the vents. I wish I could have vacuumed it the moment he moved everything. That way I was able to vacuum all of the vents easier, but it's okay. Everything seems pretty clean now. I'm really happy with how well the inside is cleaning up, and this new windshield looks really good. I'm so happy because I had a crack here before, so at least the windshield is nice and brand new again. And so let's go ahead and do the front now. I hope everything's okay. It kind of smelled a little bit weird when I turn on the car, like a little bit of burning, and it's kind of doing that weird noise now, but I think it should be okay. So let's go ahead and start on this front end now, remove the front, and let's put on this new front bumper. I'm super excited about this, guys. Okay, so I got the front bumper off and it wasn't too bad. The thing I like is that they make these now, so all of the tabs, they just break off real easy on the bumper, and then the bracket stays nice. Some of this I might have to kind of fix, because you can see here it is all ripped up and all of my headlight pieces are all over the place, so I'm gonna have to clean this too. And I do want to keep the fender liner just because it hides a lot of things like this, and it's an OEM car, or it's just a daily, so I don't need to take any of that off. And now I have to fix this, so I'm gonna try attempt to fix this as much as I can before I put the front on, just because this is gonna this needs to be aligned correctly. So I'm gonna do some glue and a slide hammer and see if I could pull this out, and then kind of pull this out a little bit too. So Blown saying that if I kind of straighten up this panel right here, this should just all kind of bend out a little bit easier, and then we're gonna see how much we could get this out to. So I'm gonna heat up the panel, use some glue, and do a slide hammer and get that out. Okay, so I've been working on this for a good minute now, and it is not perfect, but I think it's pretty good. And are you guys ready? So this is the new headlight, and this is the fender here. You can see it's not perfect at all. Still has a lot of bends here and dents, a lot of low spots, and you can see here there's this high spot right here that I just wasn't able to bend out, but I think it's kind of decent. This kind of flows okay. I think I'll just have to pull up a little bit more, but overall it seems pretty good. And this new headlight is so beautiful. I don't even want to peel this off, but it looks pretty good now. I'm gonna try to fix it a little bit more and try to get this perfect, but so far it's pretty good. So there it is right there, guys. I wish I was good at paintless dent removal, but this is the best I could do, and maybe we'll try to fix it just a little bit more. All right, and here's the result. It's not the best, but it's kind of close enough. Kind of did the roof as much as I can too, and you guys can see there, it's still pretty bad in my opinion. It has a lot of high spots, but I just can't get that high spot down. I'm gonna probably have to take this to someone that knows how to do paintless dent repair, because I don't really want to mess it up. It doesn't look too bad, but you could tell it's there. But the headlight is on and it looks so freaking good. So this housing actually looks a little different, but I think it's the same, just that this side is a lot cleaner and it's brand new. So let me go ahead and swap this headlight as well, and that might be all I do for today. I don't think I could get the front bumper on, but we'll see. And if you kind of look there, you could kind of see my radiator support is a little bent, so let me go ahead and try to pull that up as well, and then we'll see if we could get it a little bit straighter. All right, guys, we're gonna replace the glass right now, and not the glass. Oh. All right, guys, so we're gonna replace the hood right now, and hopefully it fits really good. Hopefully there's no damage that makes it unlined and everything is lined up right, but we're gonna replace it. So like the other hood would be heavy. No washer and nothing. It's like Hector, fool. As well. How we get this one in? All right, guys, the hood is on, and I actually didn't notice that this was super bent right here, so that sucks. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to bend this out and see if we can fix it. The alignment's kind of off on this side too, but maybe it's the fender. Gotta unbolt it, push it in. But dang, I thought I was gonna have a perfect hood come in. This side looks really good, of course, because it's the side that not hit. Man, it had to be the side that got hit too. The hell is that, dude? But try to fix it. I'll show you. Okay, guys, so I'm actually not gonna touch it, and I'm just gonna leave it. I'm going to contact the company that I bought the part from, and I'm just gonna try to get it returned and get a new part. I don't want to do any body work. Like I said, I paid way too much money for this to just be damaged, and for me to still have to do some stuff. I know stuff gets damaged in shipping, but I don't feel like it was shipping because none of the box was damaged, and it actually has like all the cushion in the corner, so I feel like it might have been damaged at the warehouse before they packaged it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to return this one and get a new replacement, because like I said, I want this to be perfect. I don't want to have to touch this hood and have to do repairs on this too, because it really defeats the purpose of buying brand new and you still have to fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this. This kind of sucks because now I might not drive my car for maybe another week or two, but it's okay. I'd rather get it done right and I still have a lot of stuff to do anyway. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and just package the hood back up and put it away, and I'll put the old one back on, and then we'll finish up with the front bumper and everything. But we're gonna have to wait for this hood to be finished, guys. All right, before I put the hood back, we might as well look at how it looks like now. And it's not too bad. It kind of matches, actually. It's just kind of flat, but it looks really good, guys. Hopefully I'll get a new hood in, and you guys can see the damage here up close and personal. You can see it's bent really in, and it has a lot of creases here. It's kind of hard to tell because it's a dark hood, but it has a lot of bends right here, and it's bent in like that. Also have like a pin right there. You guys can see that. So that is not that bad. I don't really care about that, but this damage here is really bad if you compare it to this hood, to this side. So I should probably take a picture of this side too to show them that how bent it is, and then they could probably replace this one, hopefully. All right, so let me show you guys real quick for the headlights. You're gonna have to take out all of the bows and some of the harnesses from the old one, and you can see this one. Look at this damage. It is destroyed, guys. But I got this new one. It does have this weird plug right here that doesn't plug into anything, but I think it should be okay. But you have to get this harness here and plug it in, just like that. Plug it in like this, and it is not going in. But let me go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you guys all the plugs. All right, and I'm running into more issues. So you see this bulb here, they didn't make it correctly. So you can see there is, let me try to focus. There is that groove right there, but that's on the wrong place. So you can see this groove is supposed to be right there. All right, so you can see that groove is supposed to be right there. There's supposed to be a hole right here, but it's pushed back a little too far, and now it's not fitting. So here's something else that I have to fix. And I did it to the other headlight already. So just getting something hot and just melting a little hole right here, just so that this could slide in better and twist up. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys how it looks like afterwards. All right, guys, so here is the holes that I have to make. I had to widen this one a lot, extend this one more to the right, make this new one right here, and then kind of clean all of this up just for this to fit, because it was really off. Nothing was aligning, but now it actually goes in, kind of, but pulls in now. Let's see if I could twist it. And there we go. So I twisted it and it is on now. We're gonna go ahead and leave that there. Let me go ahead and put on the other light bulbs, and then we should be good with this headlight, and we'll go ahead and test it out. Okay, headlight is on. Kind of fixed this gap a little bit, but it's kind of like that on the other side too. So I think it's just, that's just how it is. It's a little bit tight here, but I think it should be okay. And then I kind of moved in this fender a little bit to the left. So let's go ahead and see if it aligns better with this hood. All right. I kind of had to adjust the hood brackets a little bit and kind of like bend them this way, but it lines up a little better now. It's not as tight as this side, so you can see how tight this side is, but it looks pretty good. I think the car accident's always got to make the body lines a little bit off, but it's pretty good so far. It's as good as it's probably gonna get, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. Maybe leave this hood on for now as I put on the new front bumper, just so we can see the whole thing put together. And I emailed them, and they said that they don't have another hood in stock, and that they might just order a refund and a return. But I asked them if I could try to fix it myself. Can I get a partial refund at least for the damaged hood? because I don't mind fixing it, but it just sucks to receive a damaged part when you buy brand new. So hopefully I get a partial refund, because I actually don't mind just fixing it a little bit and then just painting it, because it has to go through paint anyways. But let's go ahead and put on the front bumper. I'm so excited about that, and we'll see how the car looks like afterwards. All right, guys, so it's a new day, and I finished talking to the company, and I'm actually going to keep this hood and just fix it. They gave me back a rebate, so I got some money back, and I'm just gonna try to fix this hood by myself. So kind of kind of sucks, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and try to fix it as well as we can. But the good thing is we don't have to wait for another hood. The bad thing is we kind of have to fix it now, so it's okay. Let's go ahead and fix it. I also put on the front bumper just to mock it. I'm not sure if I should paint it on the car or off the car, just because these tabs are kind of hard to put on. So I don't know if I should mask everything, or should I just take it all off and then paint it by itself. So I might do that, and if I do that, I'll have to clean up this whole garage, kind of set it up as a paint booth, and then we'll go ahead and do that. And this is the new front bumper right here, and dang, it looks so good. So it's a brand new bumper. This is actually the 2018 model, so it's like a newer model that we actually don't get here in the US, but this is the front bumper, guys, and I think it looks so good. This car definitely looks like a newer car now, and I'm really happy about that. So I kind of tried to do a little bit of it already, so you can see it's kind of matched up a little bit. So I'm going to keep going and see what I can do, and then I might have to just put a little bit of filler on here just to kind of make it a smooth panel. I'm not sure if I want to tackle this yet, but let's go ahead and start working on that hood. Once I get that hood done, we should be good to paint. I'm gonna have to sand this whole bumper and everything too. Take out a lot of the tabs, or clean up the tabs here. You can see when they came out of the mold, they didn't really clean it that well. So I'm gonna have to cut these off and just kind of sand the bumper down real good so that it looks good. But yeah, very happy with this front bumper. This is, however, a reproduction, so the quality isn't the best, but we'll just make do with it. And another thing is this, so this kind of sticks out. I'll probably just have to use double-sided tape and just make it stick like that so that it actually looks good. I believe the original one has a longer tab here that hooks up to this bumper, but this one didn't come with it, so they probably cut it short here. And then they added like a little tab here, which I think it was from coming out of the mold as well. So I had to grind that down so that I can actually hug the bumper. So I'm gonna have to do it to this side too. You can see it really sticks out because it has that tab. And I'll show you guys a tab before I grind it down on this side. Unless you like this look right here, but I think something's gonna catch here and just tear this thing off. So I don't really like this look. I wanted to hug the bumper just like the OEM one. But these new headlights too look so much better. That light is not working, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. Hopefully it's just a plug that's not working. If not, I'll have to replace the bulb. But man, that looks so good, guys. I'm so happy about this front bumper, and I can't wait to put the rear one on as well. It's gonna look really good once we put it on. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I started a little bit late because I had to run back to Harbor Freight, and then my FJ died for some reason. It wasn't cranking, and so I was in the parking lot for about 20-30 minutes trying to figure that out too. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It's a bit hot now, but the weather is still really good. So gonna go ahead and clean up all this, maybe move all of the cars that we have here. We have a ton of cars here, so I'm gonna have to move all to the field, and then that way when I paint, I don't get on anybody else's car. But I'm gonna have to move these two out too and clean up all that. So what I want to do though is get that corner fixed first, first things first, and then we could get started with cleaning up this place. All right, guys, so I think I did the best I could, and it looks pretty decent. So I do have some low spots that I'm not able to access because there's no where I could get it from underneath here. But if I could try a little bit, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it with filler. So sand all this down, put some filler on it, and then sand that down, and we should be good to go. So it's not too bad. And I think I have to kind of bend this fender a little bit more. You can see it kind of sticks in here, but it's not close enough, so I think I need to bend it like that. And then I kind of did the roof again. So you can see the roof is a little bit lower now. Not too bad. I did create a little low spot right here, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. At least that big like bulge is gone. The other side is a little better than this side, and it's not perfect, but at least it's not as noticeable as before. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna take it to a paintless dent remover guy sometime in the future to get that done, because I really want the roof to be as straight as I can. But that's not priority. It's not too bad, and it's good to go. So let me go ahead and finish up this corner, and then we'll keep going. All right, just sanded it down to bare metal. There are some spots that I didn't sand, but it's okay. Those are just the low spots. I think the filler should still bind to it okay, but you guys can see there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay some filler here and then try to feather it out and make it straight again. And you can see, so every time you lay filler, you kind of want to sand out a little further than you think you would, just because the filler usually gets pretty spread out. So I kind of just sanded it out here, and then you can see I feathered it out. And then let's go ahead and lay down that filler and then start fixing this hood. All right, so let me show you guys the finished product of the hood. And this is it, guys. Looks pretty good. It has like a little low spot right here, and you could kind of tell, but it's okay. I'm pretty happy with this. It's not as bad as it was before, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Just sand it down a little bit more, clear up, sand this whole hood down so that it's smooth, and then we're gonna go ahead and paint it. This is already primer, so I'm just gonna do Scotch-Brite the whole thing so that's really smooth. And then this fender, I'm gonna have to bend a little bit. I'm gonna leave it like this just for now, because I'm not sure if I want to just get a whole new fender. I was working on this area more yesterday, and it looks pretty good now. I mean, it still has a lot of little dings, but very happy with how it looks like. At least it matches up with all of the lines. So now to take off the front bumper, all the trims and the hood, and then go ahead and get it ready for paint. And let me show you guys what I did. So you guys can see behind me, I just created a mini paint booth, and all I did was hung some plastic lining, and I did a plastic lining on the bottom here. So we should be good to paint. So let me get everything set up, and then let me show you guys how it looks like afterwards. And let me show you guys the paint booth a little bit too. So you can just see, it's just plastic lining on top. Hung it on top with some thumbtacks, and then just laid some lining on the ground just so that it doesn't get sticky, because once you paint, the ground does get very tacky and it's hard to clean it off. So kind of lay something at the bottom too. And I'm really happy with this. I don't think you could paint a car in here just because it's pretty open on these sides, but we're just going to be painting the bumpers and the hood. I don't think it's going to be too bad, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, so the hood is ready to go. I Scotch-Brited it, and it has all those little scratches, but that's normal for Scotch-Brite. And then I had to resand this a little bit. It does have like minor pinholes here, and I don't think you guys could see that, but hopefully it doesn't affect the paint when I lay it on. I know sometimes when you have pinholes, it can lead to like bubbling or just kind of like a weird reaction to the paint, but hopefully it lays down nicely and I'm good. Jeffrey's gonna do a test run with 86 fender that we have that's been cut up, just to see if the gun is spraying good, and if it does, then we'll go ahead and use the real paint for my parts. But let me show you guys what I'm doing with the bumper currently, because it came out of factory. These are not OEM pieces, they're from China, so that's why the fitment is not amazing. The headlights, I had to do a lot of stuff, as you guys can see, but all I have to do is cut the pieces that when they took it out of the mold, it left a lot of like residue. So let me show you guys. So here's a little piece right here, and I'm just getting a little razor blade like this and just cutting off these little ends right here, just so that installation be a little easier and the paint will be a little better too. So you can see it has these little pieces that they have to cut off when it comes out of the mold, but they don't really cut it too well, and it kind of sticks on. So I just did a bunch of big pieces, and some of the stuff like at the bottom like that doesn't really matter, but I had to do these, and I'm gonna have to sand it so it's smooth. There's little pieces like I had to do all of this and some other pieces, so I'm just double checking, because if the holes are covered with it, then it's not gonna really fit in too well. So you guys can see here, this is a piece here that you can see it's smashed in because they didn't really cut it too well, or it didn't come out of the mold too well. So it kind of had some fitment issues there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just double check everything. And here's a big one right here. So let me cut this one for you guys. And just like that, now it's nice and clean. And yeah, that's it. So gonna go ahead and run through the whole bumper, double check everything, and then go ahead and Scotch Brite the bumper too, because it has this nice shine on it. It's not gonna lay on paint too well. I know I'm not gonna really touch this piece, so luckily I'm not gonna use too much paint just because this piece gets covered, and I'm happy that it's actually a smaller bumper because I don't have that much paint. So this could be good. And then I did buy adhesion promoter too, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray that onto these bumpers too, so that the paint actually sticks onto them. So yeah, let me go ahead and do all this, and then we'll get started. All right guys, the front bumper is ready to go. I just sprayed some adhesion promoter on there. Have like 12 more minutes to wait for it to fully dry, and then should be able to lay on some primer. And then once we do that, we'll see if I sand it before I repaint it. But if the primer lays on pretty nice, then I might just paint on top of that, but we'll see. But so far so good, and hopefully everything's okay. You can see the hood is ready to go as well. We're not gonna spray adhesion promoter on that because it's metal. You only spray on plastics, and so should be good to go in a bit. And I'll show you guys after I primer it. Almost ready for paint. I just primered the two bumpers, and they've been sitting for about an hour now. And you can see I used 2K primer on this one, and this one was just your regular automotive primer. So I actually sanded this down already. There are some like rough spots here, but I think it should be okay. I just sanded it down, or wet sanded it with a Scotch Brite pad, and it took down a lot of the roughness of this bumper. So I think it should be fine now. But you can see the difference between the regular primer and the 2K. So I think the 2K, I might not have to sand it so much. There's not a lot of rough spots, and it laid down really nicely. So I always recommend maybe doing this primer instead of that. So next projects, I'm definitely gonna be using 2K primer. I really like the way it lays out. It's a lot smoother, and it doesn't dry as fast because a lot of these primers are like quick dries. So if you're painting in the heat like right now, it's gonna dry really fast on you, and you're really not gonna lay it down that well. However, this paint, it's a little bit slower to dry, so you do have to wait a little bit longer, but man, it lays down so much better than the other regular paint. So gonna go ahead, and it should be good. It's not really fully dry, but it should be good to wet sand now. And then I'm gonna let it dry for maybe about another hour to let it cure a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and lay down some paint. And I'm so excited for that, guys. Can't wait for this to be done. Probably have to leave the parts in here for about another day, and then I could put it on my car just so that the paint can actually cure. Probably gonna have to put that busted hood back on this car just to cover up the engine bay. But so happy about this. I can't wait to finish this up. This thing is kind of holding up okay. I had to put a bunch of more thumbtacks on so that the wind doesn't blow it. Thankfully, it's not too windy today, but let's go ahead and finish up those bumpers, and I'll see you guys. All right, everything is sanded. I don't know how well you can hear me because of that fan, but you can see how smooth this 2K primer is. I really love this 2K primer so much more. And remember, these are just out of a can. I didn't use a gun to spray it, so looks really good. And this is the regular automotive primer. Looks okay, but it's not the best. You can see some zebraing, but I think that the paint should still lay on pretty well. Kind of blew through this, but it's plastic, so it's not a big deal. We're not worried about that. And everything is pretty smooth. There are still some rough spots, but I think I sanded it down enough for it to not be a big deal. I'm pretty sure that the paint will still bind pretty well to it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is where you start to get nervous because you're gonna have to paint now, and hopefully everything is okay. That hood is good to go. I just covered it so that overspray won't get onto it. but we're gonna go ahead and get started in about an hour or so. Gonna let this cure just a little bit more so that the primer could be a little bit more cured for the paint, and then we should be good to go. All right guys, I just laid the base coat down. It's been maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes now, and I think it's ready to get some clear coat on. You can see it's pretty decent, but it's a very light coat on all of the bumpers. There are some dry spots here, but we're just gonna go ahead and lay down the clear. I don't really mind how it looks like now, just because I need to get this cleared up. I don't think I have enough paint to actually sand it down and smooth it out. Here you can see some tiger stripes happening, so a little disappointing, but we're gonna go ahead and just lay down the clear and get the clear going. I think it should be okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just do it, guys. Hopefully it turns out decent. If not, then it is what it is, and we're just gonna live with this until maybe next time. But it was a very great learning experience, guys. I look like a mess right now, but it was good. I'm gonna try to lay down clear. That LV, the low pressure volume gun, it kind of doesn't spray as well as I thought it would, but maybe it's just user error, so I need to maybe adjust the fan better. I'm gonna try to do that with the clear, and then we'll see if I'll lay down the clear a lot better. But kind of excited to see how the clear is gonna look like on this paint, so we'll see how that happens, but I'll show you guys after I'm done. All right, let's look at the paint job, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. This is just the first coat, so we're gonna go ahead and maybe do 2 more. That way I can actually cut and buff it. This has a lot of orange peel, but usually do with the first coat, so we're not gonna worry about that. The hood actually looks kind of decent. You can still see some of that zebra striping, but it's not too bad. But this bug was on my hood and then left the freaking racetrack on my hood, so you guys can see there he was just trailing through. Hopefully I could clear it over and it won't be too bad. This next coat we're gonna do pretty wet, so hoping that the paint doesn't drip or anything like that. But so far so good, and it actually looks pretty decent, so really happy with that, guys. This bumper is pretty decent, but the front bumper, I'm really happy with it. I think it's turning out pretty good. You can see my reflection already. So we're gonna go ahead and lay down this second coat, guys, and I'll show you guys afterwards. All right, guys, so I am done. The hood is probably the worst one, but the 2 bumpers I'm so happy about. And let me show you guys what I did. So I only did 2 coats just because the hood is having a reaction. It happens when you lay on too heavy and too fast, so it starts to rise up and bubble. I forgot what the term is called, so you painters out there could tell me what it is, but I'm gonna leave it here because I think I could probably at least sand that out. But if I do 1 more coat, then I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna leave it like this tonight, and hopefully maybe it settles by itself, but I highly doubt that. But let's go ahead and look at the bumpers, and then we'll look at the hood. All right, you guys ready? And this is the bumper, the rear bumper. And man, I'm so happy about this, guys. It looks so good. You can see my reflection here, and wow, I'm actually surprised with how decent it turned out. It does have some of that reaction here too, you guys can see. So I think it's a good call to just end it like this tonight. I could always re-hit it with clear again, but I can't sand down that much because I'm not gonna know if I clear it again. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm just happy there are 0 drips, so everything came out pretty decent. And this is the other front bumper, and this is the front bumper right here. And look at that shine, guys. I'm so happy with this. However, I didn't get this part right here with paint, but I think it's gonna be covered by that trim anyways. I know there's a lot of spots where I didn't hit because I didn't want to waste paint on it, and so all of that's going to be covered, guys, so it should be okay. And look at this side as well. So man, I'm super happy about this. I think it turned out pretty decent for my first time doing base and clear, and hopefully it hardens, so here is the hood. You can still see minor zebra striping, but here are all the bubbles here, guys, and I really messed up on this hood. I think I sprayed way too heavy, and I think the pressure was a little bit too high for just this paint, but it atomized pretty decent. But look at this shine, guys. I'm super happy about this still. So we're gonna go ahead and try to sand it down with 3000 grit once it fully cures, and then we should be good to go. It looks really good. Look at that. And so you do see a nice shine to it. I love how that pearl kind of comes out of this paint job. So I'm super happy about this rear bumper. I think this is probably the best looking one. Kind of funny just because I didn't really care about the rear bumper too much. I cared more about the hood, but it's okay. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys, for tonight. I'm gonna have to wait like 2 days, so I want to actually upload something. So I'm gonna do all of the other stuff. There's still a lot of things I have to do to this car. So I have to fix that radiator support because it is bent down a little bit. It's not aligned right. And then I have to fix that headlight because one of the light bulbs not working. So we're gonna go do an install video after we did all this paint job, and then you guys gotta see this car fully back to where it was, and it's gonna look amazing, guys. So stay tuned for that next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Peace.